You're listening to the Open Podcasts.
Hello everyone, my name is Marcus Buckland, host of The Open Radio, and I'm delighted to say the Open Podcasts are now on YouTube. Over the coming weeks and months, we'll be uploading the entire archive of the award-winning Open Podcast series, including dozens of documentaries for you to enjoy, before previewing this year's Open Championship at Royal Liverpool in detail. So make sure you subscribe to The Open on YouTube and check back here for all the latest. The One Club Hub is now also home to exclusive audio, including our 3-part documentaries on Tom Watson and Sir Nick Faldo. So sign up for free to check those out as well if you haven't already. You can sign up for free on theopen.com or the Open app. Just follow the signs for the One Club. However, before all that, we hope you enjoy this episode, in which you'll hear from the last person to win the Open at Hoylake, Rory McIlroy. Speaking exclusively to the Open prior to the championship last year, Rory's stories and tales from golf's original major, including that famous victory in 2014, makes for essential listening. Once again, subscribe or follow the Open Podcast wherever you're listening for more of golf's greatest stories. And we'll see you soon with our weekly episodes. But for now, here's Rory.
My earliest childhood memories, I think, of the Open it was probably 97, Troon.
And the winner of the gold medal and the champion golfer for the year, Justin Leonard.
Justin Leonard won, but Darren Clarke was in contention. And obviously Darren Clarke from Northern Ireland, growing up there, very big deal. And I remember everyone really had high hopes going into that final day with Clarkey.
Good putt. Good putt. Oh, that's a sensation. Oh. Look at all those Ulstermen there. Absolutely joyous. Tremendous effort thus far for Darren Clarke.
He wasn't able to get the job done, but obviously a few years later he did. But that's probably my earliest memory. And then I can reel off everything from there. Birkdale 98, Mark O'Meara, Justin Rose, hole in that wedge shot, 99 Paul Lawrie Carnoustie, obviously Tiger 2000 St Andrews. So yeah, I'd say late 90s was when I really started to get into it, and that's, when I was 8 or 9 years old and really getting into golf myself. They're my earliest memories. My first ever Open I went to was 2004 at Troon. I played at the Junior Open Championship that year, and then went across to Troon to watch. So, but the Open is, it's one of those events. It's something that I think growing up in Northern Ireland and around the UK, we've got this massive summer of sport with it. It starts with Wimbledon, and then it goes on to the Open, and then it's just, it's always a great time of year, and it's always exciting.
A perfect Scottish summer's morning. In just a few days' time, the Open champion will be crowned here on the 18th green in front of a world audience of millions. Over the coming week, Carnoustie 2007 would prove to be one of the most dramatic Opens in recent history.
Now this is Rory McIlroy. This for birdie. He's got it. He's got it. Young Irishman, couple under now. Definitely a star of the future, I think.
Yes, I saw him hit balls a couple of hours ago. Very impressive for a young fella, only 18.
So, sort of even going back to the summer beforehand, in 2006, I won the European Amateur in Italy to get myself into the Open, and that was, it's all I could really think about that year is the fact that I'm going to be playing in the Open. And I was coming off a high. Ireland had just won the European Team Championships the week before that I was a part of at Western Gales.
There's Rory McIlroy making his way down the fairway, and he really is a terrific young amateur. Twice Irish amateur champion, won the European amateur title last year, recently helped Ireland win the European Amateur Team Championship only last week at Western Gales, so McIlroy really playing some superb golf at the moment.
And then went over to Carnoustie to play the Open, and I'd arranged practice rounds with Nick Faldo, Darren Clark. I played a few holes with Ernie Els. It was like for a whatever I was, just turned 18-year-old kid, to be having these experiences and to get to play an Open Championship.
He has a bit of a take no prisoners approach, Sam. Very aggressive.
When he's 18.
And even the draw that I had the first 2 days, I played with Jimenez and Stenson, who at that time were two of the biggest names in golf, and here I am, just a kid getting to play alongside them the first 2 days. That was, it's an unbelievable experience, and I think back to that time and how excited and in awe I was of everything. And it's really cool being in the position that I'm in now today to see these amateurs get to play in the Open Championship that have qualified and play practice rounds with them, and sort of all those feelings and those memories come back to you with what it was like for me when I was at that stage. So that's one of the great things about the Open as well, is just the mix of people and the sort of eclectic nature of the field is very cool.
Oh, beautiful shot. The Open Championship, no problem.
Yeah, thankfully it went straight down the middle, I think, which was nice. But yeah, once I got into the rhythm of the round, it was just like playing, it's just playing golf. You're just trying to get the ball in the hole. And, that first day at Carnoustie worked out really well for me. I was the only player to not have a bogey in the field, and shoot 68 and be just a couple off the lead.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Open Championship, 18 years of age. What a round of golf. Outstanding. 35, 33.
Off for an orange squash.
Yes.
Not too strong. 3 birdies, not a dropped stroke. The only person so far today to have gone round the course without dropping a shot. Excellent playing.
It was very cool. Unfortunately, I didn't quite keep it going the rest of the way, but I think for my first major to make the cut and to play all 4 days, and that was a big deal. My plan all along was to turn pro at the end of the 2007 summer after the Walker Cup, but I think winning the silver medal at Carnoustie was a huge confidence boost for me, and a confirmation, as you say, or a step in the right direction that I can play in the biggest tournaments in the world and I can hold my own. So that was massive for me, and that gave me a lot of confidence going forward. Knowing that I was going to play the Walker Cup, knowing that after that I was going to take this big leap into the professional game, and I knew that I felt like coming away from Carnoustie, I could have played better. There's things I could have done better, but I'm walking away from a major championship having beaten a lot of top pros, which give me a lot of confidence.
To the 143rd Open Golf Championship from Royal Liverpool Golf Club.
From Northern Ireland, Rory McIlroy.
Every tournaments that you win, you look back and there's pivotal moments, or there's moments throughout the week that you mightn't realize are so important until after the fact, and the the way I played the last few holes on Saturday was like, I mean, it was huge. I started the week so well with 266s, and then was sort of having a pretty average day on Saturday, and then I think I hold a really long putt on 13 or 14 for birdie.
Like that, just like that. It is a ridiculous game, Mark, isn't it? I mean,
and then the way I played the 2 par 5s coming in 16 and 18. Yeah, 4-iron into 16, and then it was a 5-iron into the last after that as well. Those 2 shots, I think it just sort of showed how in control of my swing and my game I was.
you can tell it's online. Not bad. There. Yeah, I told you so. Told you so. That's a gem.
Looks good.
That eagle gave me that 6-shot cushion, and it was really important, and probably one of the best swings I've ever made. I go back to YouTube and I watch that swing a lot, see if I can learn anything or what did I do. But that's the one that stands out to me. When I'm going through periods where I'm maybe struggling a little bit, I do. But when I'm, for example, when I'm confident with my game like I am at the minute, no, not that much time on YouTube. Because under pressure, hitting long irons isn't the easiest thing to do in golf. And I think as well, it's when you that you're in control of your swing, it sort of makes everything a little bit easier. I wasn't necessarily playing for eagles. I think when you're going for a par 5 and 2, your first thought is just get it on the green. I mean, you're not really going for the pin, you're just getting it on the green, giving yourself a putt, and if the putt drops, you make eagle, it's a bonus, but at least you're guaranteeing yourself an easy birdie. So that's all I was trying to do those 2 holes, and I just hit really, really good iron shots that set myself up, but still needed to make the putts after that to convert. And it wasn't quite the championship, but it was, it put one hand on the claret jug for me. I just needed to go out on Sunday and not do anything stupid. And that's basically what I did. I could play quite conservatively and know that if I made a couple of mistakes, it was probably going to be okay. So that Saturday afternoon was huge.
And with a score of 271, the winner of the gold medal and the champion golfer of the year is Rory McIlroy.
I think that's the coolest thing is, you get announced as the winner of the gold medal and the champion golfer of the year. That's anyone that grows up playing this sport and has aspirations of getting to the top level. That is something that you want to hear your name mentioned with at some point. And having my parents there, especially my mum at the back of the 18th, was a really, really nice moment. And looking forward to this year.
Want to keep up to date with the latest news on the Open podcasts, as well as enjoying films, articles, quizzes, and much more? Get the Open app today to experience the greatest stories in golf all year round.
A very special day in the sporting calendar brings us to this stunning part of the world as the Open returns to Northern Ireland and Royal Portrush for the first time in 68 years.
It was, in terms of the result for the week for me, selfishly, it wasn't, it was very disappointing and not what I wanted. But I think for Northern Ireland and Portrush and for the Open in general, it was an amazing week. I mean, you couldn't have got a better winner in Shane either. The whole week, everyone I talked to, especially over here in the States, they all say the Portrush has been their favorite Open of the last 10 years, which means a lot to me, especially being, where I'm from, and they all had such a good time, and they loved the golf course, and they loved the crowds and the people. So, that means a lot to me that a lot of guys thought so highly of it. And yeah, I'm excited to get back. It's a little bit of redemption for me. I had that terrible day on the first day, but I made that run at the cut, which is, as Fridays go, and when you're on the cut line, it was a weird roller coaster of emotions, but a really, really cool day. Felt like so many people rallied behind me, and I sort of rode that wave of momentum the whole way through that Friday afternoon, and I've never heard crowds like it, just cheering someone on to try to make a cut, but it was very, very cool.
Well, let's have a listen to this wonderful reception for one of the best players we've ever seen.
A 65 for Rory McIlroy. A tremendous effort.
Yeah, it was a lot of pressure, but I felt, as I said, I could have done a better job myself of knowing how to deal with it, I guess. It all, once I walked down those steps on the Thursday morning, it all just sort of hit me. I was like, wow, this is, and I prepared for playing the golf, but I didn't prepare for how that feeling was going to be on the first tee. And at least now that I've been through it, I'll know better for next time. And it's nice that next time is just around the corner. So, but still, it was a great week. It ended up being great memories in some way for me. And to see Shane, who has become one of my closest friends, go and lift that claret jug it was an unbelievable moment for him and for the country and for the Open in general. So it was very, very cool.
Shane Lowry is the Open champion.
I mean, whenever someone asks me that question, your career and how do you feel it's went, and I always sort of have to go back to 18-year-old Rory at Carnoustie, for example, and be like, okay, if you were to tell him that in, whatever it is, 14 years, 15 years time, this is where you'll be in your career. I mean, oh my goodness. I would have thought I'd hit the lottery and all my dreams have come true. And so I'm really happy with what I've done. I'm proud of my achievements. Are there tournaments that I could have won that have sort of slipped through my fingers? Yes. But I feel like I've won my fair share, and I've become a much more consistent golfer over the past few years, and that will only just give me more opportunities to win big tournaments and big championships. I'd love to win more Opens and more major championships, and I think when everything's said and done, and I retire from playing tournament golf, whenever that is, in 20 years time, I'll be remembered for the majors and for the big moments, and I still feel like I've got quite a lot of big moments ahead of me. I've already created quite a few, but I feel like I'm still, my game and my mindset anyway is still on an upward trajectory. I feel like there's still more that I can do in this game, and I've this is as confident as I've felt in my game for a long, long time. And I've got so many more opportunities. So I'm I guess I'm really happy with how it's been for the last. You're going to have ebbs and flows in your career, but when I just look at the big picture, I'm really happy with my body of work, and I'm really enthusiastic for the future because I feel like my game and my body is healthy, and I'm in a good place where I can really just focus on my golf for the next decade plus, and give myself more opportunities to win the biggest tournaments in the world. To be an Open, to be called the champion golfer of the year, and to have a claret jug in your house, to be able to go and look at it and look at all the names, it's one of the greatest honors in our sport. To have the gold medal, to have the claret jug, to have your name on a trophy with the likes of, you go back to old Tom Morris or Varden or Hogan or Nicklaus or Palmer or Player, Watson, Trevino, just all the way through to Tiger Woods. The titans of our sport, the greats of our game have all gotten their hands on a claret jug, and to be able to put your name alongside them is the best feeling in the world as far as I'm concerned as a golfer. It's nice to have your name on that once. I'd love to put it on there a few more times. You look at a Tom Watson or a Peter Thompson or Jack or Tiger, or any of these guys that have got multiple claret jugs. You want to put your name alongside those guys. So the Open that I won in 2014 seems like a long time ago now as well. So I'm really happy that I have my name on there once, but I'd love to be able to put my name on there again.
This has been an original audio production from The Open.